In the dim glow of twilight, as the bustling streets of Chicago faded into the rearview mirror, Johnathan Hayes gripped the wheel of his sleek black SUV a little tighter. The air was crisp with the promise of autumn, carrying whispers of leaves rustling in the wind. Johnathan, a self-made tycoon who had built a chain of upscale grocery stores across the Midwest, was lost in thought, replaying boardroom battles and expansion plans, when his headlights sliced through the gathering dusk and caught something unexpected. A solitary figure huddled against the chill on the shoulder of the empty highway leading out to the suburbs. He slowed the vehicle, curiosity prickling at the edges of his mind. Who would be out here alone at this hour, with the sun dipping low and the shadows lengthening like fingers reaching for secrets long buried? The figure was an elderly woman, her frail form wrapped in a threadbare shawl, shuffling against the breeze with a determination that belied her years. Jonathan's heart tugged, a rare flicker of vulnerability in a man accustomed to control. Without a second thought, he pulled over, the engine's hum the only sound breaking the eerie quiet. "Excuse me, ma'am," he called softly, stepping out into the cooling air, his polished loafers crunching on the gravel. "Are you all right? It's getting dark out here. Do you need a ride somewhere?" His voice carried the warmth of someone who, despite his wealth and the armor of success, hadn't forgotten the simple decency etched into his bones from a childhood steeped in Midwestern values. The woman lifted her head, her silver hair catching the faint light like frost on a winter branch. Her eyes, deep pools of weariness tinged with a quiet resolve, met his. She hesitated, clutching the edges of her shawl. "Oh, I think I've wandered too far from home," she murmured, her voice fragile as cracked porcelain. "Didn't mean to, but the path just stretched on." Johnathan nodded, scanning the desolate stretch of road flanked by whispering cornfields. "It's not safe to walk alone at night. Please, let me give you a lift. I promise I'm no stranger to helping folks in a pinch." He offered a gentle smile, hoping to ease the weariness etching lines deeper into her face. She paused, glancing at the luxury SUV as if weighing the risks against the encroaching cold. "I don't know you, young man, and it's late." But there was a tremor in her words, a loneliness that hung heavier than the dusk. "I get that," Johnathan replied, his tone steady and reassuring. "But leaving you here, with the coyotes howling and no one else around, I couldn't live with myself. Got family waiting for me back in Oak Park. Wife, maybe a late dinner. Let me get you home safe. Or call someone, a relative, a friend." Her shoulders slumped, and she let out a sigh that seemed to carry the weight of forgotten years. "No one to call, dear. Live alone these days. My old neighbor, Margaret Ellis, but I left my phone behind." Foolish habit.
Stone and still water rippling through Jonathan's chest. He knew that ache, the echo of solitude in a world that moved too fast. "All right then," he said softly, opening the passenger door. "Just a ride, nothing more." After a moment's hesitation, she nodded and slid into the seat, her hands folding neatly in her lap as if to anchor herself against the unfamiliar comfort of leather seats and ambient lighting. As they pulled onto the highway, Johnathan broke the silence to ease the tension. "I'm Johnathan Hayes. And you?" "Elizabeth Grant," she replied, a faint smile softening her features. "Lizzie, to those who knew me young." "Beautiful name, Lizzie. Haven't heard it much these days." He glanced in the rear view, noting how her eyes darted to the passing fields. "You from around here? Suburbs, maybe?" She chuckled lightly, a sound like dry leaves. "Not far. Just needed some air tonight. But my memory, it plays tricks. Forgets the way back sometimes." Her voice trailed off, and Johnathan felt a pang. Memories were his anchors too, though his were boardrooms, not lost paths. The conversation flowed gently, like a river finding its course. Lizzie spoke of a lifelong friend, Clara, who'd walked these roads with her until illness claimed her a year ago. "We were like two halves of a whole," she said, her gaze distant. She'd tease me when I'd misplace my keys or forget the milk at the store. "Don't worry, Liz," she'd say. "I'm your compass. Now, it's just me and the wind." Jonathan's grip tightened on the wheel. Sounds like she was a good one. "And your memory, when did that start?" "A few years back," Lizzie admitted, fiddling with her shawl. "Small things at first, then bigger. Why I left the house, how to get home. Clara kept me steady. Without her—" She trailed off, a shadow crossing her face. Before he could respond, a soft melody escaped her lips, hushed at first, then gaining a haunting clarity that filled the cabin. "Eternal Love," an old folk tune his mother used to hum while tucking him in, back when life was simple porches and firefly jars in rural Illinois. The notes wrapped around him like a forgotten embrace. "We'll always be together, till my eyes gently close, till my heart beats its last." Jonathan froze, the wheel blurring in his hands. That voice, ethereal, laced with ache, stirred something buried deep, a ghost from 45 years past. His mother, vanishing one stormy night, leaving only echoes and unanswered questions. "That song," he whispered, his throat tight. "Where did you learn it?" Lizzie's eyes met his in the mirror, soft with knowing. "It's for those who've loved true, dear. Stays in the soul, doesn't it? Like a thread tying heart to heart." He pressed on, questions tumbling out, but her answers danced away, vague smiles, gentle deflections. The intrigue gnawed at him. Who was this woman, and why did her presence feel like a key turning in a long locked door? Then, catastrophe. A sharp pop shattered the night, the SUV lurching as the right rear tire gave way.
"How could you know that?" Silence stretched, thick as fog. Then, as they neared a modest bungalow on the outskirts, lit by a single porch lamp, "Stop here, please." But before exiting, she hummed again. "Eternal Love," each note a dagger of nostalgia. "Let our love live forever, so your eyes never close to me. We'll share this bond eternal." "Wait!" Jonathan killed the engine, turning back, but the seat was empty, the door ajar to whispering wind. Gone. Again. Doubt clawed. Was Sarah right? A spirit? Or exhaustion unraveling his mind? Yet the blanket was real, heavy in his lap. And that song, identical to the one his mother sang, lulling him through childhood fears. The obsession gripped him. Days blurred into searches. The highway at dusk, the farmer's market near his downtown office, where an old woman sometimes sold heirloom tomatoes. Nothing. Sarah noticed the shadows under his eyes. "This ghost is haunting you, John."
What's really going on? Over dinner, it spilled out. The song, the blanket, the impossible details. Sarah's skepticism softened. If it's coincidence, why chase it? But if it's more, be careful. Hearts break easier than tires. He searched on, hope fraying, until the fifth night, there she stood, shawl fluttering like a flag of surrender. Jonathan stopped, pulse racing. "Lizzie, please tell me, who are you? How do you know my mother?" She sighed, eyes tracing the stars. "Long ago, I worked in her home, cleaning, cooking. Times were hard for a single mother like me. Your ma, she saw my boy, saw the life I couldn't give him, offered to raise him as her own, thought it was mercy." Jonathan's world tilted. "You mean I was that boy?" Tears traced her cheeks. "Yes, son. Your pa, the man you call father, gave you everything I couldn't. I let you go, thinking it best. Watched from afar. School janitor, campus vendor, market stall by your office, just to glimpse you growing strong. Shock warred with joy, grief with grace. He pulled her into an embrace, the years dissolving. Mom, you've been here all along. Explanations at home were tender chaos. Sarah, wide-eyed, enveloped Lizzie in a hug. "Welcome to the family. We've got room and stories to share." Years unfolded in quiet miracles. Lizzie's laughter at Sunday roasts, her stories mending fractured pasts. When frailty claimed her, Johnathan mourned, but gratitude bloomed. At her grave, beside the wildflowers she loved, he whispered thanks for the highway detour that rewove their thread. Love, he learned, defies time's cruel cuts. It lingers in melodies, blankets, and the unyielding pull of blood and choice. 2 mothers had shaped him, one of sacrifice, one of nurture. Their legacy? A life stitched with forgiveness, proving the heart's song never truly fades. Thank you for listening to the story until the end. Don't forget to leave your opinion about this story, subscribe to the Unbelievable But True channel, and share this video with your friends and loved ones. This motivates us to continue working on new stories. Don't miss the next amazing story that is about to appear on your screen. We are very grateful to you for being with us. In the description below this video, you can open a catalog of all the stories. See you soon.